Hi, I'm Chris Giles, the Technical Director of Havilah Resources. Today, Richard, Buckley and I are wanting to give you some insights into the work we're planning on our iron ore projects. These projects lie in the northeast part of South Australia within daily commuting distance of Broken Hill and quite near the railway line. So Richard, we have a very large exploration target here at the Grants Basin of 3.5 to 3.8 billion tonnes of iron ore as a result of the drilling we did a couple of years ago. Maybe you can show us what it looks like in Vulcan 3D.
Yeah, okay Chris. So obviously, we've got a number of projects up in that area, Mount Dorky, Grants and now Grants Basin. And we call Grants Basin basin for a reason, and you can see here on the aeromagnetic image that it is a basin. It's very easy to see that, and it sits near our Grants resource, and you see the scale difference between our 300 million tonne Grants resource and what our exploration target is here in the basin. And talking about the exploration target, it's really just a portion of the basin there. You see I've just put on the exploration target shape, and so we're trying to look at that exploration target as just the start of the entire Grants Basin potential resource. I'll just show you now, Chris, the drill holes that we've put into the basin, and which were completed a couple of years ago, as you said. So they're fairly sparsely spaced. So what we're proposing to do later on this year is to come in and just drill out a portion of this resource. And the reason for that is, we want to upgrade the resource so we can start to do some mining studies on it, given the current price of iron ore and the fact that we do have a very good product here, as you'll tell us a little bit later on. So the drill program itself, we're concentrating on basically areas where we've got little to no pre-strip, which is really important obviously when you're mining, because the last thing you want to do is dig up overburden if you don't have to. And fortunately at Grants Basin we do have a significant amount of little to no pre-strip. So if I just load up the drilling that we've got planned, now we're not going to be able to do all this drilling this calendar year, but certainly we're going to make a good fist of it, particularly in the western section of this deposit around here. Okay, so the drilling here is the shaded holes as compared to the other holes, and you see here particularly they're concentrating on the shallow portion of the ore body. So we're at outcrops and subcrops. So we're going to look at this western side and then the northern and southern areas of the basin.
Very good. Yeah, so considering the metallurgy of the deposit, we know it's a mixture of iron ore minerals, both hematite and magnetite, and we know the ore is quite soft, and we know it upgrades to a high quality 65% product. And it's what in iron ore terminology is called fines, and it should be ideally suited to pelletizing. So I guess we have a bit of a road to go, Richard, in terms of testing. So how's this drilling going to help us with that?
Yeah, well certainly, when we design a drilling program, we design it to try and get a consistent sample, and we'll be able to provide that to some companies that will be able to give us some flow sheets on how we're going to process this. And that's quite important because we've already been able to do test work that gives us confidence that it can be upgraded, but we need to do it at a larger scale. So we're going to be looking at maybe half a ton sort of sample, bulk sample, and then we'll be able to provide that, and we'll get a lot more de-risked outcome for the processing.
Yep, and we'll be able to get those samples from our drilling. So I guess to summarise, we've got a vast iron ore deposit out there, so the quantity of ore is not a problem. The ore is comparatively soft, so it means it's a low energy inputs. We know from our metallurgy that it upgrades to a very high quality marketable product with about 65% iron. We're near the main transport artery, the railway line, and we're near the regional mining centre Broken Hill, drive in, drive out. So all in all, it looks good. Have I forgotten anything?
Look, the main thing on a mining perspective is the low stripping ratio.
Yes,
you know,
of course.
because we can basically start digging this up from day one. We're just dependent on the processing then. So, you know, if we had the approvals, we could go up and start mining, and that's what I'm excited about. But obviously we need to look at the processing side as well.
Sure. Well, trust the mining engineer to think of that one. On that note, Richard, I think we'll sign off for today, and we trust that all our shareholders and friends stay well and in good spirits.